Well, sweet. Just carrying on my conversation with my boy TGK over here. Look forward to checking out your live stream tonight, my guy. So what we've got tonight, guys, and I'm starting the timer in just a second, is an idea for a 5-minute just quick stream, right? Just something quick with 5 points. So roughly a minute a point. I'm pretty wordy, and so we'll see if I can do it, if I can hold myself to it. So 5 points, and they're specifically, I think they're going to be mostly points that other people aren't making. We're not going to be like focus on, Kyrie and Luka sure are good, aren't they? Like, we're going to just kind of touch on some interesting points as we start getting amped up, getting ready for the final. So the timer won't be on your screen, but I've got it in front of me, and it starts right now. All right, so the first point is this. As I've been saying this for a while, I said this before the conclusion of the Minnesota series, the Western Conference Finals, but I've been saying all along, the Mavs have had the toughest road, right? They've had the toughest road. Even before the Western Conference Finals, the Mavs have had the toughest road. And people were like, no, the Timberwolves, because they beat the champs. Props to them, respect to them. But they played the ready-to-be-buried 6 feet under Suns in the first round. And people were like, oh, no, those Suns got KD. They got Book. They got Beal. And I'm going to go, yeah, did you see those games? They was ready to roll over and die. The talent on the Suns is undeniable. The heart is what's questionable. For that whole roster, minus KD, I give the legend his props. KD is awesome and deserves respect. But the rest of that roster, man, they will roll over on you, man. They will absolutely fold. So here are the Mavericks. They beat in the first round a really tough 4th seed, right? Now, of course, Kawhi being fully healthy would have made that series a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting. But the Mavs persevere over Paul George, over James Harden, and, whatever you think of Westbrook nowadays. But a really talented roster. That first round was not easy. It wasn't easy, and we took them in 6. 6, that's a decisive victory, right? That's a decisive victory. We won on our home floor wearing black. We came dressed for the funeral, and a funeral we had. So that's the first round. Second round, the number 1 seed, the very tops of offensive rating and tops of defensive rating, right? They were up in the very, very upper echelons all season long of best offense, but best defense. The Oklahoma City Thunder were a legit threat to be finals, to make a finals appearance this year and maybe make a finals victory. I'm not sure. I think their age played against them. Their lack of experience played against them. I think Luka and Kyrie played against them. I think that's the biggest reason they aren't here today. But they were such a solid, well-coached team with a legit, true, top-tier superstar in SGA who performed to his peak. I mean, SGA was out there balling. Was there a mid-range shot that he took that you were like, oh, he's going to miss that? He felt like he was going to make every one of them, and he kind of did make most of them. All right, so the Thunder were awesome. And the Thunder, I think, are going to have, throughout these whole playoffs, the best defensive answer, or the best option, I should say, the best defensive option for Luka Doncic. And if you've got one of those 1 or 2 guys in the league that actually, because of their strength and athleticism, can kind of power up with Luka, then you've got one of the handful of guys in the world that can do that. And Lou Dort is maybe at the very top of that list. He's not as tall as Luka, but he is stronger than Luka and probably quicker than Luka. But your boy had answers, right? He discovered you give Luka time, and he's going to figure you out, and he's too skilled not to beat you. So I thought the Thunder was a really great series against the number 1 seed in an insanely competitive Western Conference. And we took them out in 7 games, 6, my friend. 6, my brother in Christ. 6 games was all it took for the Mavs to knock out the number 1 seed. Game 6, we came dressed in black for a funeral, and a proper funeral was had. Coming into the Western Conference Finals, I honestly would just say making it to the Western Conference Finals means that the means that the season was a success, but we came in and took out the top-rated defense, the team that everyone was swooning over. I got to go so much. This isn't going to be 5 minutes. What was I thinking? Gosh, I'm already at 4 minutes. So the point here is the Mavs came in against the darling Timberwolves that everyone was ready to just slurp up. Anthony Edwards, who is going to be a phenomenal player. He's already great. He's going to be better in the future. But he just wasn't ready to stand up to Luka and Kyrie. What one superstar team is going to hold up to Luka and Kyrie? I don't know. I don't know that there is one. Denver would have been the only one that would have had a real fighting chance. One superstar and a support star. But I think you got to come correct with a bevy of stars if you're going to try to counteract Luka and Kyrie. And so the Mavs have just flooded through this playoffs. Oh, how many games did it take them to beat the darlings, the Minnesota Timberwolves? 6 games? 7 games? 5 games, my friend. 5 games. The Mavs have had the toughest road and have made it look pretty easy. Now, not as easy as the Celtics, but the Celtics had a chump roster of opposition, right? Their opponents were weak. All right. Yeah, I like the Canelo Mayweather comp. That's a good one. I've heard you made that before. That's a really sharp one. All right, so number 2. First one is the Mavs have had the toughest road to the finals, and they are battle tested. They're getting fully healthy, and they are battle tested. I don't think they're battle worn. Like, they're not going to come into the finals weary. They are ready. They're like a bunch of soldiers they're like a SEAL team that is like, hey, we've just completed 12 straight missions. We haven't lost a guy. And what's our next mission? That's the Mavericks. And they're stepping into the finals with sharp focus, well-defined roles, and I think people firing on all cylinders. Number 2, I'm going to fly through this one. I'm sorry. I'm going to fly through this one. So, number 2, Luka and Kyrie have been great. They can be greater. They can be great. They have been great. They can be greater. They can be greater. Let me just speak this into your soul. Luka and Kyrie have been great. They can be greater. They can be greater. So far, even in this most recent playoff round against the Pups, they basically, if you looked at their final numbers, basically played to their averages. Luka and Kyrie have another gear. They can go to an even higher level of performance than we've seen so far in these playoffs. I don't have any more time. Let's move to point number 3. Luka is Superman. Kyrie is Batman. D-Live is Robin. I think I'm the first person to say this. I was thinking about how important he is to this team. How many stories, how many movies, how many comics, how many storylines have you read where Batman was going to fall? Batman, the amazing detective, the greatest mind, or one of the greatest minds as a superhero we've ever known. And Robin had to bail him out at the end. If it wasn't for Robin saving the day, Batman for sure would have been a goner. D-Live is our Robin. We've got the 2 leaders of the Justice League. We've got Superman and Batman, but we've also got this 20-year-old dependable defensive anchor. He's a defensive centerpiece. I'm just glancing at my notes. The ball moves so effortlessly and accurately through his hands, and don't let him finish around the rim. And man, you don't even want him at the line recently. Man, he's been plugging away at those at a solid percentage. D-Live stirs the drink of our defensive effort. He makes the defense, I want to say, to like another 2 levels. Gafford is great. Gafford is good, but D-Live is just a better overall team defensive presence. He is a centerpiece of an elite defense. D-Live is our Robin. Number 4 thing I want to say, and I may be going out on a little bit of a limb here, right? People are going to be like, hey, look out for Maxey. Hey, watch Hardy. Of course, people are going to be going to say, hey, it's going to be Luka and Kyrie. And of course, it always comes down to your superstars. I want to say, I think this Celtics series, we're going to have some good minutes from Dante Exum. Have you noticed? In the last couple games, we've been seeing a little more flashes from Dante Exum. He hasn't looked like a deer in the headlights. He's looking more like himself. He's probing the lane. No, did he? He's moving around a lot more confidently. He took a shot in Game 5 that was so much a shot that he was taking in the regular season, where he blitzes into the paint and just kind of like throws up this floater that it looks like a bad shot. And in Game 5, he back rimmed it and missed it. But it looks like a bad shot, except for all season he had proven to have incredible touch on that shot. Like, I love Dante Exum paint floaters. I love it. He's proven to me that he's got that in his bag. He's got the catch and shoot three in his bag, and he's got nice paint touch in his bag. He just lost his way. He just lost his way for a minute, and I think he's found his way out of the woods. I am predicting better Dante Exum in the finals. I think he's going to start really showing up when it matters most, when all the chips have been pushed to the center. I believe Dante Exum is going to show up. Now, does that mean big minutes? I don't know, but I think it'll mean productive minutes. Whereas in the first 3 rounds especially the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, he was invisible, and he kind of showed up a couple times against Minnesota. I'm expecting his best round of the playoffs this year to be in the finals. Number 5. This may not feel good to you right now, and I've got to wrap it up because I'm at 10 minutes. I failed miserably. Number 5 is this. This may not sit well with you, but I think it's true, and I want to let it just rest on your head and heart a little bit. Because I think the Mavs are absolutely going to go into the finals against Boston and give them a hellacious battle and war. And I see the Mavs being able to win this. They won't be anybody's favorites, right? The Boston was clearly the best team all season, especially in the Eastern Conference over there. But the Mavs are absolutely, they got puncher's chance, man. They are going to go into the series with a lot of chance to take this championship. But here's my 5th point. The Mavs are better next season. I haven't heard anyone say that yet. At least not recently. The Mavs are better next season. Next season, D-Live and Hardy step into game 1. They step into season as battle-tested playoff performers. Next season, D-Live and Hardy step in as proven playoff veterans. And they start next season, by the way, at age 20, age 22. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Omax will step into next season as a 21-year-old. Those 3 guys could take such major steps forward next season. Hardy and D-Live, based on the experience they're getting right now, and I've been projecting all season long that next season, 24-25, is Omax's season to really get a good burn. Move off from THJ, move him along, something like that. Find a way to get Omax meaningful minutes. He's just showed such tremendous flashes. I know he owned the G League. Anyone can own the G League if you're an NBA quality prospect. What's up, Rel, my guy? Hey, I just finished watching y'all's stream for last night. That was some good stuff with them receipts, my man. I loved it. I was just chuckling to myself for 2 hours. I love that. Love that stream. Great job. I believe that the Mavs are going to step into next season a better team. No one who we're relying on is over 30 except Kyrie and Maxey. And I think they're still on the right side of 30 to be able to say D-Live, Hardy, and Omax, we're going to come in as 20, 21, and 22-year-olds. Next season, that's how old they'll be. D-Live will turn 21 during the season. But listen, Luka, PJ, and Gafford next season, they all turn 26. That's the beginning of your prime. That's just stepping into your prime. 25 and 26 is when you're just cracking the door of your prime open. They are going to be better next year. Given the whole season's worth of chemistry, figuring out the starting lineup right, they are going to be better next year, and that's what I got for you. Clearly not in 5 minutes, in just under 13. But there's 5 things for you that not a lot of people are saying that I wanted to put on your heart. We're going to talk Mavs all the way up into the finals, through the finals, and after the finals. But you guys have a good one. I'm looking for it. See you next time. Go Mavs.